key thought that I would share is, as a leader, that I learned through all my years, is the most important thing is to be yourself. Be authentic. That's what people respond to. When you try to be somebody you're not, nobody's going to trust you. We all know ourselves. We're all unique. That's actually what makes us great. Be yourself. Secondly, at all times, be profoundly positive. You know, you've got to look at the world, everything you approach, from a positive perspective. It's pretty easy to look at things one way or the other, but in my experience, it always pays to be on the positive side. We've got to each embrace change as the lifeblood of what we do. Change is a good thing. It's what keeps us growing, right? Perfect example is our stores are really busy. Someone might look and say, oh, our stores are so busy. And another person might say, our stores are so busy, right? Busy stores are better, right? It's a blessing. The busier, the better, right? Believe in the essential truth that there are no limits. So many people walk around life believing there are limits to what they can accomplish as an individual, as a business, in a country. But be careful not to set them. There's no such thing as a limit. That's a human invention. We were all created to flourish. And I believe that with every bone of my body. I remember telling the story years ago how I screwed up with my young son, Will, who at the time was about 5. Many of you recall that. He's now 13. But he wanted to kick this field goal, you know, and went to the park, and he went out to the 40-yard line and said, Dad, I want to make a 40-yard field goal. And we're saying to him, Will, come on, let's move in. And we moved in toward, about the 10-yard line. Even there, I knew he couldn't kick it high enough. But I never forget how I set a limit on him. And instead of having Will try that field goal and miss, and then say, well, let's move in a little bit and keep working till we got there, I'd set a limit. It's a very natural thing as human beings to set limits. But the reality, there are none. They are all self-imposed. And so I think to lead in an innovative world where you're trying to be the best of the best, you've got to believe in the essential truth that there are no limits. Similarly, the only way to innovate is to use your imagination. You can't innovate by looking around. You got to look deep inside of who you are. You got to look deep inside of all the people you work with. You got to look deep inside of those locations and imagine what isn't there today. And everyone is a creator. Don't believe people who say, well, there are creative types and there are not creative types. It's not true. Anyone who's been a parent knows everyone is there to create. Just give a kid a crayon. Give a kid a bunch of Legos. They can spend all day creating. It's in our DNA to improve things, to create things. And you got to believe in that, and you got to let your imagination win. Never let people on your team or anybody in your life be a skeptic, because they will totally get in the way of your creativity. And it's really fundamental from my perspective.